welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Hannah, and a few weeks ago I made a video about the things that you shouldn't do when you visit New York City, and in that video, one of them was, spoiler alert, don't be afraid to take the subway. And when I was filming that section, I asked if you guys would be interested in a whole video on how to use the subway and some tips and tricks for it, and you were all about it, so here it is. Before I teach you how to use the subway with confidence and ease, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every single Saturday. Alright, so you've traveled to New York City and you're ready to get on the subway. The first thing you're going to have to do is get one of these guys. The card itself costs $1, so you're going to have to pay an additional $1 when you first get your card, but after that, it can be reused for about a year, as many times as you need. You have three options when it comes to putting money on your card. There is a weekly unlimited pass that allows you to ride the subway as many times as you want to for 7 days for $33. There is a monthly unlimited pass, same thing, but it is $127. Or you can pay per ride for $2.75 a ride. To figure out which option is going to be best for you, you're gonna have to do just a little bit of math, and fortunately, I've already done it for you. If you're going to be riding the subway more than 12 times in a week, the weekly pass will be best for you. For the monthly pass, you're gonna wanna ride 46 times over the course of the month. If you're doing any less than that, you're going to want to just pay per ride. Even if you're only visiting the city for a few days, the weekly pass might be worth it if you're doing a lot of sightseeing. You might end up taking the subway more than you think, so just give that some thought first. Another important thing to note is that you can share the single ride pass with other members of your group, but you can't do that with the unlimited passes, as they can only be swiped once every 18 minutes. If you have kids in your group, if they are under 44 inches tall, up to 3 can go under the turnstile for free with a paying adult. So now I'm going to show you how to swipe the card. I might not have even thought of this myself, but my friend visited last week and said I should definitely include it in this video because she had a lot of trouble getting through the turnstile. Sometimes the machines can be really finicky and you might have to try a couple times, but this is how you're going to get the best results. You're going to hold the card in the direction shown here and swipe it through at a medium brisk speed. There's also a new system in place called Omni that's available in all subway stations that allows you to do contactless payment with your digital wallet on your smartphone or certain credit or debit cards. I'm going to attach a link to their FAQ in the description, but I haven't personally used it yet. Now let's talk about how to navigate the system. It's honestly a lot easier than you think. I know seeing all the colors and numbers and letters can be really overwhelming and confusing, but you honestly don't even need to have it completely figured out for a visit here. There are a few things you can do to make this super easy. The main thing you need to know is if you were going uptown or downtown, or if you're going cross town if you're headed east or west. This is super easy. If you are at the World Trade Center and you're trying to get to the Empire State Building, look at a map. Is the Empire State Building higher up in Manhattan or lower down on the map than the World Trade Center? It's higher up. Great, that means you're going uptown. Some stations, but not all, will have separate entrances on the street for uptown and downtown. If you go down the wrong one and realize you made a mistake, you're gonna have to go all the way back up to the street, go down the other entrance, and pay again. And no one wants that, so really pay attention to the signs. Other stations will have signs leading you down separate sets of stairs or escalators after you've already paid, and some will have both directions coming to the same platform with signs on either side. In this situation, you won't have to pay again if you mess up, but it'll just be really inconvenient, so pay attention. I think the easiest way to navigate the city is just to use Google Maps on your phone. It's way more reliable than Apple Maps, by the way, so if you don't have it, download it. I'll show you on the screen here. Just set your destination, go to the public transportation option, and it will give you step-by-step directions for how to get there using the subway, including the walking route to and from the station, transfers, and all of that. As you can see, there are several different routes listed here to get from the World Trade Center to the Empire State Building. The fastest one listed here involves a transfer, and this doesn't mean you have to transfer from the E to the B to the D to the F to the M. It means you have to transfer from the E to the B, D, F, or M train, so you can just get on whichever one comes first. Also, as long as you don't exit the station when you transfer, which you won't have to, you don't have to pay again. As you can see also listed on the screen here, there are a couple of options that don't involve transferring. You just have to walk a little bit further. I usually prefer to do that because I don't mind walking and I would rather just walk around outside than wait inside the station for another train. So if you're uncomfortable with transferring, that's also an option. If you prefer to do it the old-fashioned way, you totally can. You can download a map from the MTA website, and they also have them available in every subway station and on all the subway cars inside of the train. The map shows all of the different subway lines and where they all stop. So even if you're planning on using Google Maps to get around, it can be helpful to study the map a little just to orient yourself and give you a general idea of where everything's going. For example, the green line goes up the east side, the red and blue lines go up the west side, the 7 and L trains are the crosstown trains. Just things like that to make you a little more comfortable. Again, not completely necessary, but just might make you feel a little more at ease. Another thing that can be handy to know is the difference between the local and express trains. These are trains that go along the exact same line, but the local train stops more frequently than the express train does. For example, the 1, 2, and 3 trains all go up the exact same line, but the 2 and 3 trains are going to stop at 42nd Street and 72nd Street, whereas the 1 train will stop several times in between there. The express train can be a lot quicker if you know you're going to a station where it stops, but again, not a huge deal if you get on the local train. You will still get there eventually. Hopefully this info will make you a lot more comfortable with the idea of using the subway. The two main reasons I see when I look online for people being a little nervous about the subway is fear of not being able to figure out the system and a fear that it's unsafe. So let me just address the safety issue quickly. The subway is safe. It is the primary mode of transportation for most New Yorkers. Most of what you're gonna see on the subway is just normal people going to work, going about their business. If you're a tourist visiting the city, I understand why you might be apprehensive about using the subway at night. However, I used to work at a theater and I would take the subway by myself a lot around midnight and I never had a problem. And it was still really crowded, honestly. If you're not used to being in big cities and you feel nervous about taking the subway late at night, you can always opt for an Uber or a cab. And I would recommend doing so if it's much later than around midnight, especially if you are traveling by yourself. As far as staying safe goes, use your common street smarts and you'll be just fine. Don't wear headphones in both of your ears. Stay very aware of your surroundings. Don't flash your valuables or your wallet, and look like you know what you're doing even if you're not sure. Now that we've touched on the basics, I want to give you some general tips to make your life a little easier and also to help you follow basic subway etiquette and not annoy your fellow passengers. If the train is really, really crowded and there is one empty car, you might be tempted to go get in it because, hey, it's your lucky day, you're gonna get a seat, it's gonna be fantastic. Don't do it. There is very likely a reason that that car is empty, like a bad smell or broken air conditioning or something even worse than that. So deal with the crowds. You don't want to deal with whatever is in the empty subway car. A lot of the subway stations have escalators, and if you are planning on just standing on the escalator, not walking down it, you're going to want to stand to the right. You want to keep the left side clear for people who are in a hurry and want to walk down the escalators. Just stay to the right and everyone will be a lot more happy with you. Somewhat on a similar note, when you come out of the subway station and you're not sure where you are and you need to orient yourself, please do not stop at the top of the stairs and look around and start looking at your phone. Move to the side first. Go to the edge of the sidewalk, out of everyone's way, and then figure out where you are. If you just stand right there at the top of the stairs, you're gonna be in the way of other people who are trying to come up and are in a hurry trying to get to where they're trying to go. Just move out of the way first. It can be really easy to just dismiss your subway ride as a part of your commute, getting to your next destination to check out all the cool sights, but don't forget to look around the stations. Sometimes you can see some really cool things inside of the subway stations. There's often a lot of artwork made from tiles or sculptures, some really cool things to see. When you're on the train, please don't play your music or YouTube video or whatever out loud. The other passengers don't want to hear it. That's what headphones are for. I know earlier I said not to put headphones in both ears, but you can wear one in one ear and listen. Just don't play your stuff out loud. It's annoying. When you're standing on the train and it's really crowded, don't lean up against the pole to hang on, just use your hand. When you lean up against it, you're taking the whole pole and nobody else can hang on to it. It's just not very considerate. Also, when it's crowded, make sure not to put your bag in the seat next to you or take up 2 seats if it can be avoided, so as many people can sit down as possible. It's also a lot smoother sailing if you wait for other people to get off of the train before you try to get on. I see it every single time. There are people trying to get on the train before other people get off. And I'm not just talking about tourists, I'm talking to you locals too. You guys do it. But stand back, let the other people get off of the train and then get on. It is not going anywhere. The doors are still open. Just hang on a second. My last tip for you is don't be afraid to ask for directions. If you're down in the subway and you're a little confused, just ask somebody for help. I've had so many people ask me for directions. I don't mind at all. I'm happy to help. I've seen people ask other people for directions. People are typically very, very nice. And we want to help you. We want to help you get to your next destination and enjoy this amazing city. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it helped you to feel much more comfortable taking the most convenient method of transportation in New York City. Let me know in the comments if you have any additional tips to add or if you have any further questions, and please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. It really does help me out so much. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do that for new videos every single Saturday about New York City and my life here in it. Stay safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next one.